I thought inflation was transitory. Chair Powell certainly straightened this out on Friday. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard to Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, August the 28th. And didn't they continue to tell us and beat down the story that inflation was a transitory issue? And now suddenly Chair Powell comes out at Jackson Hole, where he cornholed us and said there's going to be some pain. What person did not know that inflation was not transitory? I mean, this was as easy to call as possible. But of course, I guess when you're involved with an administration that keeps moving the ball and the line, the gain, it's like they keep moving the goal line. You can't get a touchdown because they keep moving the goal line farther and farther as they change the rules on recession. Of course, what are they going to say now when we get the third quarter of negative GDP? But for a year, they said recessionary, transitory. Oh, I guess it's not transitory. I guess we're going to have to suffer some pain, which, I mean, how much more pain can we suffer than what these idiots are doing now? And again, I call them idiots. They're getting what they want. They're trying to get the great reset, the destruction of this country. And so far, they're doing a good job. The only good news is that in 2 months, there's a chance to change course. That is the beautiful thing of being in the United States of America, is every 2 years we get a shot to change if we don't like what we have. Now, I will tell you this, that all the ballyhoo about the loan forgiveness, yeah, it's a pain in the ass, yeah, it's a bunch of garbage, but it is unconstitutional. The president does not have the power to do that. That does have to go through Congress, and then it will have to go through the Supreme Court. And this is more of just a campaign speech, a way to try to stay in the front and give good news. They were not going to waive those college debts so fast. Okay, it cannot be done. Unlike the destruction of our energy policy, the bailing out of student loans can't be done with the stroke of a pen. Okay, but I think you're going to see the Fed is going to have to probably hike. They're probably going to be 1% at the next meeting. I don't think they can go higher. They could. But doesn't it just show you how ridiculous this whole situation is? When in history has the Federal Reserve ever hiked rates, into a recession, into a slowing economy, when they should have been hiking rates all along? This does bring into play, unfortunately, the wonderful thing known as hyperinflation. Okay, you're already seeing shortages in certain things around the globe. Even in Germany, they got a shortage of toilet paper. So there's an energy crisis because of what we're doing. The United States and their shitty energy policies are creating a lot of these shortages globally. This is the same as we talk about in any other business or product. When you destroy competition, when you take, in our case, we just took ourselves out of the market, and you've left control of the markets up to Venezuela, the criminals, Saudi Arabia, the haters and killers. Of course, they got the Live Golf Tour now, and Russia. Okay. Now, again, that's not very good. Not very good choices when you want to speak of competition, especially when the oil markets, when fossil fuels are one of the most valued commodities at this point. Okay, and you've got we keep going to the EV, the climate change, all of the nonsense. Okay. Now again, I am not a climate change believer, but again, if you are, it's fine. Okay. It's still not going. You can't get there tomorrow. You already hit. You're seeing shutdowns at different places in the world that don't have enough power. Our power grid cannot handle an enormous and overabundance of electronic vehicles. And besides the fact that you're destroying the American economy today. Now, yes, you want to plan for the future? Please do so properly. Every president in my lifetime has promised to fix the infrastructure. How many have done it? None. Zero. Zip. Nada. Okay. So we have a power grid that is shit. It is easily accessible, and I guarantee you, I would bet you big money it will be hacked into at some point. Okay. So why don't we continue to go back to fracking and shale producing while we are figuring out how to get to green energy? I have no problem with green. Listen, I don't care if I can get in my car and turn it on and it goes. I don't care how it goes. But I know that the policies that we're watching now are bullshit. I know that there is no effect. The carbon footprint will not change. Did you notice that there is record amounts of coal being burned now? Okay, so suddenly we've gone from, the Obama deal, no coal here, okay, but the rest of the world is burning away. You've got over 50% of the world burning coal. Now that is one of the worst pollutants, okay, in the world, and yet the amount continues to increase. Now you tell me, okay, about how are we in the United States going to stop the air from running over from India, China, and the rest of the world that is burning coal? Okay, again, you cannot do it alone. And again, you're still burning those fossil fuels. And if we did our own drilling, we would not change the carbon footprint. So again, another story of crap. If this was Pinocchio, their nose would be around the world by now. Okay. So, we as the taxpayers, of course, we get fleeced again. This is, I remember the speech, no taxes. If you make under 400,000, there'll be no taxes. Oh, well, suddenly there's tax on everybody. So again, a typical politician, and again, look, they're all the same. I mean, listen, I don't care which one they are. As you know, I'm a fan of neither party. I think they're both criminals. Okay, personal income and spending in July, another bad miss. Tie that in with massive debt, okay, and delinquent mortgages, and what do you got? Okay, no spending. Delinquencies, overwhelming debt. Where do you end up with debt? Okay, but yet let's ignore it. This is America. Okay, everything's fine. It's a wonderful place. Okay, and it is. Listen. I love America. I'm an American, and I want this country to strive. We'll talk about that in my commentary. Okay, but I'll tell you what's really getting interesting is the lies that President Biden continues to spin. Now, again, I don't know if he's lying or if he's just too dumb to know or Alzheimer's kicking in, but he keeps changing things that are around and trying to change the wording of things that don't exist. So it's interesting that how we take note. And again, everybody listens to what they want to hear. Okay. So I think, it becomes scary when you have a president that was always dumb. Again, listen, just look at his record. Forget about, you don't have to take my word for it. Look at his record. Okay. But now making up things that don't exist, okay, and making it sound like certain things are happening that are not. And it's like we had no inflation in July. Really? Because the CPI came down from 9.1 to 8.5. That's still pretty high inflation. And those numbers are not even accurate. Okay. But again, that's a story for another day. Okay. But, look, I mean, 8 out of 10 Americans believe that they covered up Hunter Biden. But I guess do they really? And that's always a question you have to ask. They're still going after President Trump. Okay. It started in 2015 when he announced he was going to run. And in 2022, 2 years after he's out of office, they're still going after him. You have to ask yourself, what are they afraid of? But yet, Hunter Biden, who has benefited massively from his father's endeavors and his father's workings with China, Ukraine, and others, not a peep. Yet, supposedly, 8 out of 10 Americans believe that there was some hanky-panky going on there. Okay? Why so quiet? This is the problem with the media. This is the problem with the way news is reported. This is the problem when you try to direct people into one political party versus, some choices. And, you know how I love competition. And of course, we don't have much competition in our political world. You can't get a libertarian on the ballot. So that's a problem. Okay. But good luck to Europe. Biden threatens energy exporters with stop exporting mandate. Why would we not? Again, this brings back the simple question: why are we not producing oil? We could be helping our allies. We could be helping the UK, Germany, and at the same time, finally putting a squeeze on Russia if that's your objective. But I don't know that that's their objective. See, this is the real problem is we really don't know what this administration and what the president have in mind over the long haul. Okay? It's kind of like the war that's in Russia and Ukraine. You haven't heard much about it recently, right? We know it's still going on, but why is it still going on? Okay? And so there's a lot of things that just don't make a dramatic amount of sense, okay? And I think that, you have to decide as to who you believe, and what do you think is the right place and the right thing to do. Now, again, in my opinion, my opinion is very clear. I think that this administration is full of haters. Now, I think we saw in many of the primaries that the haters are going to get knocked out, okay, most of them. So we'll see. Listen, at the end of the day, the economy's in trouble. The Fed is ignorant because they've done everything is backwards, which we actually predicted right here a year ago and said, well, actually more than a year ago, but we said, now, are the markets going to break down? I don't know. We'll talk about that in our market report when we come back from our break. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, August the 28th. We'll be right back with more right after the break. Bubba's Bottom Line. What's up, everybody? How you doing? Listen, great stuff. And of course, as you know, I've got some brokerage partners, some sponsors, and always want to share that with you. Now, I have my own brokers as well. I have many brokers. Let's put it that way. But the bulk of my trading money is with Capital Trading Group for futures and commodities. And in fact, they do our Day Trader's Dream. They do all of our letter of direction trading. And, you want to check them out, go to info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. That's info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. And just check down the sides and you'll see the links. And of course, Tradier Brokerage, which God bless them, they're going to sponsor, we call it Bubba Palooza, number 10, which will be our weekend. Well, it's actually not a weekend. It's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday in Vegas for our annual training seminar. And Tradier Brokerage is going to be a sponsor. Okay, for our live stream, because we're also streaming it on the web. So you can check it out. And if you want to get some more information from Tradier, please do so. Or you can email me directly. But in the meantime, Tradier Brokerage, what a great place for options and equities. $10 a month. Can't beat it. If you're a member of one of our services, you can get auto trading. The portfolio models are free. The hedging is a licensing fee, but Tradier is still $10 a month. Check them out, try.trader.com/Bubba. That's try.trader.com/Bubba. And of course, our high school program, check it out. Again, we're trying to help, but it's getting harder and harder, and more expensive for us to educate these kids, because it's hard to get teachers that are willing to even teach it. But we're trying. We're going to keep pushing because, again, educating Americans is what I want to do. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, August 28th. We're going to step out of a break. We'll be back with our market report right after the break. Bubba's Bottom Line. Welcome back. It is Sunday, August the 28th. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. I am Todd Bubba Horowitz. And of course, as you know, every week, second segment, we do our market report, our market update. And oh boy, Sparky, what a week it was. And, started out innocently enough with a down Monday, followed by an up Tuesday, an up Wednesday, followed by some selling on Thursday, and then Friday, boom, chakalaka, down they went. Down goes Frazier. And of course, that was, I'm not going to say due to, but the Fed, Jerome Powell was speaking in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, and he's going to tell us we got some pain coming ahead. Well, gee, shocking. If you had done your job, we wouldn't have any pain. If you would have quit with the bullshit transitory inflation and just come up with it. But listen, it's a story for another day. In the meantime, the markets didn't like and did not react. The Dow was down over 1,000. The S&P was down 150. Russell down 70. And the Nasdaq was down over 500. All right. So now, interesting enough, as we come in, and tonight we'll have a couple of reversals, but only the Nasdaq is going to reverse in the indices for tonight. Now, there is some mixed info. Just to give you full disclosure, I want you to know exactly what we're thinking. Now, you know what I think. I think we're going a lot lower, but again, I was long, and I'm still long. I haven't gotten out of the longs yet, but I think that I think we're going dramatically lower. Okay, I think we're getting a 50 to 60% haircut, but it doesn't have to be tomorrow. That's the thing, and it doesn't have to be that fast either. But that's what I'm looking for longer term. I think we're in a lot of trouble. In the meantime, we're going to be short the Nasdaq. Okay, which either some will sell tonight, the others will go do the lateral direction trading and sell tomorrow. But either way, we're going to be short the Nasdaq and long the other three. Okay. In the dollar, the dollar is, it had a big week and actually made a new recent high before pulling back a little bit, but still close to 109. And of course, we're still long. The euro currency is actually below par and closed below par, on its way, on its journey to 88 cents and maybe lower. Okay. Again, Europe's in a lot of trouble. This is almost part of the master plan as you start seeing more and more about digital currencies, not cryptocurrencies, government-backed digital currencies, which is worth shit. Okay. Bitcoin got down over 20,000, got under 20,000 overnight. Now it's back above 20. Well, actually, I don't know that for sure. It will close above 20 in the exchange. I haven't seen the live quotes again, but it was under 20 for a while. Look, I don't think anything of it. This is something that if you're trading, you have a position, and if you're owning it, as a potential store or whatever, stored assets, I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, again, I've always said to you that if you're going to be in this space, you have to be prepared for it to go to zero if something goes wrong. In the meantime, it's right around 20,000, and we are still long, believe it or not. In the bonds and notes, obviously under some pressure. Interest rates are going up. The Fed, it's hard to fathom why the bonds haven't collapsed faster. In the meantime, it looks like they're in heavy trouble now. We are short both bonds and notes. Gold and silver and platinum, August 12th was the last good day for the precious metals. We actually had to reverse silver, but never reverse gold, stay short. Now we're short them all once again. And it would be short platinum, except that it's not liquid enough for us to trade. But I mean, gold, I think gold looks like it's got a chance to test 1,600 and maybe lower. I mean, again, it may turn around at some point, but look, 10 years from now, it'll be worth a lot more, in my opinion. Today, next 6 months, it might go to 1,400. Who knows? Okay. But my next target is 1,600. So we'll see what happens from there, but we are still short. Copper had a nice up week and we're long. The crude market has turned around, which we're long. And, look, I think that we're going back to all-time new highs. This temporary stuff that has been done, the draining of the SPR and some of the other things that have been done, is problematic. And of course, we've sold a lot of that all to China, but it has brought the cost down for a short period of time. But like everything else, when it goes back up again, it's going to go up a lot faster. And I still think all-time highs are in play, which means that we'll be paying $8 to $10 a gallon for gas. Natural gas made 14-year highs on Monday. It did not close up there, but it still closed well over $9. And of course, if you're in the UK, God help you, you need to take a loan, you got to get a mortgage to get your natural gas. And then, of course, in the grain markets, we are corn and beans they all had good up weeks. Wheat's still in consolidation, and we're still short. We are long corn and beans. Okay. The meats, protein, we're going to reverse feeder cattle tomorrow. They don't trade overnight. Fat cattle or live cattle, we're still long, and hogs, we're still long. Short, apologize. Okay. And I think, look, I've said all every day on RFD TV, I don't think they're going down really, but I don't think there's a lot of room to go up. And that's the key. And this is where we're going to really find out the inflationary spiral that we're in coming up here shortly. And in the softs, you got cocoa, which we're short, was a little bit higher for the week. OJ was lower for the week. We're short. You have sugar, which we're going to reverse again either tonight or tomorrow. Okay, which was kind of flattish week, but pushed up a little bit late in the week. Coffee exploded higher last week, which we're still on. And I don't know, did I give you OJ? I don't know, OJ was down and we're short. If we did it twice, God bless. Okay, but again, I think it's still quiet. Remember, this is a holiday week coming up. It's Labor Day weekend next Monday's Labor Day. So it's going to get slower and slower as we go. We haven't had a lot of volume. I would not be surprised to see a bounce. Okay. And that's what I prefer to see because I would like to sell into that bounce. Okay. If they got them hard overnight, you may want to look to be a buyer for a trade. But again, it's going to be slow. Just be careful. As we say every day, be careful. Let's step out for our final break and come back with our commentary. Bubba's Bottom Line, Sunday, August 28th. Welcome back. It is Sunday, August 28th, and I didn't even take the break. I'm so goofed up. Anyways, remember our partners, and remember that Trade Here is going to go ahead and sponsor the live stream for our Bubba Palooza. But in the meantime, as I want to get into my commentary, okay, for the week, and I love America, as I've said to you many times. Every week, every time I talk to service people, military, police, fire, but all the public servants, I say thank you, okay, because there's what make this country possible. But I got into a discussion this week, and somebody said to me, "Well, but we're still the greatest country in the world," and we are, okay, and I have no problem with saying and believing that we're the greatest country in the world. But let me ask you a question. As an American, as a human being, as a person, should we settle because we say that we're the best? Or should we strive to be better? Okay? I don't know about you, but there's a lot of things going on in this country that are making me very uncomfortable. Okay? From the bullshit that the president does to the what Congress does. And I don't care what party's in power. They're all shit. Okay. But I don't like to be fleeced. Okay. I don't like when they have the ability to steal from me. I don't like them destroying my privacy, which is everything that they're doing right now. Okay. Again, from the tracking, from the digital currency, why should we accept that this is the greatest country in the world, which it is, okay, when we can be so much better? That's what I don't understand. Why do we take it so easily to accept that the United States is the greatest country when we were much greater? We were much more powerful. We didn't give up what we're giving up now. So why should we settle? Okay, and why should, this is what creates the end of great runs, is when complacency kicks in and we say, oh, we're still the greatest. But we're the greatest of a declining great versus we can still be improving. We are the world leaders today. Why do we accept mediocrity? Okay, that's my problem. I don't want to accept mediocrity. I want the country that I grew up in that was greater than what we have today. Yes, we are still the greatest place in the world, but I want better. I don't want to settle for less. And if you settle for less, shame on you. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, August 28th. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you back here tomorrow with Bubba's Day Update, but of course next Sunday. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll see you later.